Hello fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday the 16th of August. I nearly forgot what month we were in, 2021. In today's news, there is only one story across the globe, and that is the complete fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban. This is horrific news, terrible news. Now, of course, Western forces, meaning the US and the UK, didn't invade Afghanistan to protect the Afghani people against the horrific Taliban. No, they didn't. They just tried to get Osama bin Laden, and even though I'm not sure he was there at that time, but anyway, and certainly links between the various insurgency groups were kind of shady at that time. It was, but after the horrific events in New York, of course, the bombing of the Twin Tower, which still haunts everybody to this day, the terrible effect of that horrific bombing, and caused people a kind of temporary insanity to try to do things that were, well, not the best way of going about them, really. But anyway, all of these years, one side effect has been that the Taliban has been, suppressed to a great amount, and their horrific policies of anti-education for girls and various other anti-human policies that they have with their insane religious extremist views have been on the back burner. But clearly they've been there burning away this whole time, and whatever Westerners did, they didn't manage to train the Afghan troops, the corrupt Afghan government, and everything else that's involved there to manage to protect themselves. And unfortunately, it looks like we're in for many more years of insanity from the Taliban inflicted on the poor Afghan people who really just want to get out of the fighting. Okay, Monday morning, dreadful news, bad news for Monday morning. Let's get focused more on our Sudoku. I should put my glasses on so I can see the grid in front of me. Okay, now this is Monday, and that means Beginner's Day. So welcome to Sudoku for Beginners. I apologize for giving you bad news. I'll try to give you good news if I can, but unfortunately that is the main story today in The Guardian and across all newspapers. So anyway, we shall try to put it out of our minds as we play from the safety of our non-Afghan homes, the game of Sudoku. And it's a game, a puzzle that is divided into squares, a grid divided into 9 squares across, 9 squares down, and 9 squares within each of these highlighted or bold, outlined, I should say, blocks. And the key thing to remember is that each number can appear once only in its row, column, or block. This 4 is in this row. There will be no other 4s in this row. It's in this column. There will be no other 4s in this column, and there can be no other 4s in this block. Got it? Okay. Right, that's it. That's all we need to know. Now I'll show you how to play the game, and I'll begin like this. You see the 6, as I mentioned, cannot reappear in this row. This 6 can't reappear in this row, so there's a kind of blocking effect. So 6 blocked across here, and that's the only square left, right? So we know that 6 has got to go there. Right, that's our first number. And we go around the board looking for similar kinds of ideas where we know that the only possible space left is the number that goes there. Now, I don't look at these games before I start, and so sometimes it takes me a little while to get to grips. I don't practice at all before starting the video, and so it may take a little while to see, but I can see that this 6 blocks up this column, and this 6 blocks down this column, right? Again, this kind of blocking effect, and that again leaves us with just 1 square that we can fill in there. there's 2 blocks across this column, a row, sorry, 2 blocks across this row, there's 2 blocks across this row, and that gives me a 2 in this square here. The 2 blocks up this column now, and then there's only 1 square left, so we know a 2 goes there. Now if you see there's only 1 square left and you can fill in the number immediately, you don't have to say, well, I can see that a 2 could fit here, could it be something else, could it be a 3, and then start looking for 3s. No, don't do that. There is only one solution. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. There is only one perfect way to do it. If you see that a number goes in that location and it can't go anywhere else, that's the number to fill in. Don't dilly-dally by trying to look for some other number that might fit in there. Now I'm going to find this number up here. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to find it because this is the thing that makes the game so interesting, the logic that we need. So what we do is we look and see that there are 3 empty squares in this column and in this block. So if we count through the numbers in this block, we can see which numbers go in these 3 squares. We have a 1, we have a 2. Do we have a 3? No, so we'll remember that. 4, 5, 6. Do we have a 7? No. Do we have an 8? Yes. Do we have a 9? No. So the missing numbers for these 3 squares are 3, 7, and 9. They must go in these 3 squares because those are the remaining numbers for this block. Now, as it happens, the 3 stops the 3 from going here, so 3 will be here or here, and the 9 stops this square from being a 9, so 9 will be here or here, and the 7 can go in any. So it means that we can't actually place them, but that's not what I'm considering here. 3, 7, and 9 are here. They are also in this column. So what we do is we look at the rest of this column and say what number is missing, and that number will go there. We know that this is 3, 7, and 9. In fact, the missing number is the first number. It's a 1. We don't have a 1. This is not a 1. This is 3, 7, and 9, and there's no other 1. So we know that 1 must go here. Okay, I hope you understood that. This 1 blocks across this row, and again there's only 1 space left, so we can see the 1 fits there. Now again we can see there are 2 numbers missing, 3 and 5. 1, 2, we don't have 3, 4, we don't have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 and 5 are missing here, and we look down here and we say, hey, this 3 intersects here, so that can't be a 3. The 3 must go here, and the last number that we need for this block is a 5, and it goes there. If you can hear some strange kind of whining in the background, that's one of my neighbours. She has a rather whiny voice, but she's a very nice person. Right, what else should we do? Shall we see what numbers are missing here? So we've got a 1. We don't have a 2 just yet in this row, right? So 2's got to be one of these 3 missing numbers, and when we look down here we see a 2 blocking here and a 2 blocking here, so we know that a 2 has got to come in that location there. We also can see a 2 blocking across here and a 2 blocking up here, so blocked, and that will give us a 2 in that square there. Coming back to what I was doing, looking at the numbers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 and 9 are the missing numbers in these 2 squares. And we look down to see if we've got any 8s or 9s, and lo and behold, we have a 9 blocking that square. So we place our 9 here and we put the 8 there, knowing that it must go into that location. Now I want to show you why it's... Okay, alright, no. I'll show in a second. 9 blocking across here, that gives us a 9 in this location here. Okay, 9 blocking across this row here and 9 blocking down here gives us a 9 here. And so now we can take this 9 and block across this row, down here and down here. And so there's only 1 square that doesn't see a 9. We often use the verb to see. That means if it's in the same row, column, or block, we use the verb see quite often in Sudoku. Now we can also find the missing numbers. Here we have 1, 2. We don't have a 3 yet, but immediately I can see 3 blocking this square, so I know that 3's got to be here. And when I look for the missing number, I'll find it's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, just to double check that we haven't made a mistake. It's a good idea when you're beginning Sudoku. Now there is a column with one missing number, and that means we can find this missing number. If you only have one empty square, you can always find it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no 8, there is a 9, so that's an 8 that has to go in that square there. Now we can see a 2 going in this square here. I'll give you a chance to look. We want a 2 in this square here. Have a look and see any intersecting 2's, and I think you'll see why. Right, have you got it now? So you'll see a 2 here blocking along here, and a 2 here blocking along here, and a 2 here blocking down here, and a 2 here blocking out. They're actually quite close, kind of surrounding it. So even though we don't have any numbers in this block yet, we can immediately fill in a 2 because of the intersecting numbers around. I see there's 6 blocking down here, 6 blocking down here, and 6 across here, and that gives me a 6 here. Now you might be thinking, well, this is very random. How can you see these numbers? Well, if you've played the game for quite a long time, somehow the numbers seem to kind of jump up at you in a way. That's just experience, really. But you can do it in a more methodical way, and that's probably a good idea as well. But for me, I prefer to play in a kind of random fashion, just looking for stuff until I get stuck, and I do get stuck. This 7 blocks this from being a 7, so 7 must be in this square here, and the last number to get is a 1. You have a 1 there. Now this row here is lacking 2 numbers. We are lacking a 1. We don't have a 1. We've got 2, 3, 4, and 5 we don't have. So the 2 missing numbers must be 1 and 5. And we look up and down and we see a 1. So this 1 blocks this square here. So we know that the 1 has to appear here and the 5 has to be in that square there. My neighbour's really noisy today. I'm not sure what she's doing there. She's just enjoying a good chat. Okay, and I want to show you how we often like to look ahead. Oh no, actually I don't need to. It's irrelevant. I was going to show you that blocking down here would give us a 4 in one of these 2 squares here. Now we can't say which it is, but we do know that it blocks up this column. But actually I don't need it because this 4 already blocks this square and this 4 already blocks this square. So we've got 4 blocking across here, and there's a 4 blocking down here. So we'll give us a 4 there. In these easy level games we don't need to do much kind of looking ahead, but when you play the more advanced levels you'll find you have to kind of think ahead a couple of moves. Something like, not exactly like chess, but with something similar in mind, thinking forward. Let's put it like that. Okay, where am I now? I'm a bit daydreaming, actually, looking at the wrong kind of thing here. So okay, there are 3 numbers missing in this row here, 3 numbers, and there are 1, 7 and 9. I'll just prove it to you. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's no 7, 8, there's no 9. So 1, 7 and 9. 3 numbers are missing in this square, this square, and this square. But when we look down here, we see a 7 and a 9 in this column. So this can't be 7 and it can't be 9. So if it's not 7 and not 9, what must it be? It has to be a 1, because that was one of the 3 missing numbers. 7 and 9 have to be in these 2 squares. Now, as it happens, the 9 cannot go in this square here. So we now know that 9 is there and the 7 is there. Now that we've got that, we see 7 blocking across this row, 7 that we just filled in blocking this column, giving us a 7 here. And then when we take that 7 down, and this 7 we just filled in down, and the 7 across here, we'll see that 7 has to go in that square there. I hope you're enjoying the game if it's your first time ever and getting the swing of it. 3 blocking across this, 3 blocks across this row here, and so we need a 3 there. Or you could just count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you'll see that's the missing number from that row there. There's 3 blocks down here, 3 blocks down here, 3 blocks across here, and that gives us a 3 there. So you can see we've done a lot of the numbers already. It hasn't taken too long. Average game well, the games can go from anything like 5 minutes to 5 hours or something like that, depending on the complexity of the logic involved. But anyway, right, so this one blocks across this row and this one blocks up this column, blocking, so we know a 1 goes here, and now 1 blocking this square, 1 has to go there. This is a 1 here because this 1 blocks down here and this 1 blocks this square across here, so blocking, 1 square left, 1 has to go here. We don't yet have a 4 or a 6 in this particular block. 1, 2, 3, no 4, 5, no 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 and 6 are missing, but here's a 4 saying no 4 can appear in this square. So 4 goes there, 6 goes there. Let's count across here, we'll find it's a 4. 1, 2, 3, there's no 4 in this row. So we'll place the 4 there now. 4 blocks this from being a 4. You'll see it kind of go up and down the columns. And 5 is the last number to get in this block. 5 stops this from being a 5. So the 5 goes here, and we count through and find this is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. That's an 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So it doesn't matter, there's more than one way to find it. There are 2 numbers missing here. We must be able to get them because there are single numbers missing in each of these columns. This 5 means that that can't be a 5. We don't yet have a 5 in this block. 5 goes here. And the other number is an 8. Okay. Well, you can see what we've got left now, so looking pretty reasonable. Only 8 more squares to get. Now, where should we go? Okay, this 9 blocks across here. This 9 blocks across here. 9 blocking down here, 9 blocking up here. So blocked, and blocked. That gives us a 9 in this location. The next number we should look for is this one because it's the only one missing from this column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have a 7 yet. Goes there, 8, 9 we have. Now this 7 says that can't be a 7. So 7's got to appear here. And the last number we need for this block is a 3. I know it looks like I'm not counting through, and I'm not, because I can just look at the numbers and see which one is missing without actually physically counting through, and that's just from practice, that's all, and you can do that as well if you practice. 3 blocking across here, blocking down here, that gives me a 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's no 6 in this column yet, so we'll put it in 7, 8, 9 just to double check as we are playing our first games. This 5 says that that can't be a 5. We don't yet have a 5 in this block. 5 goes here. The last number to get is an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 goes there, and that's our easy level beginners puzzle from The Guardian on Monday. Now if you are taking it up, you'll find I'm going to put up a link to a list of easy puzzles, beginner puzzles, and those are good for you to practice with them until you really get a good feel for the game, and then you can move up a notch. Please subscribe to the channel, come back for more Guardian Sudoku, and when you get a bit more advanced, some of the other newspapers which feature harder level games. Okay, thank you, bye bye.